Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to hear isn't just another hip-hop headline. It's a full-blown crisis dripping in blood, betrayal, and a mother's worst nightmare. Imagine this. A prison hit list, handwritten and soaked in real blood, is uncovered during an FBI raid. And at the very top of that list, Lil Durk's name. But it gets worse. Because when his mother saw the letter with her son's name next to the chilling words, "Finish him," she didn't scream, she didn't speak, she collapsed. Right there, in front of agents, in front of cameras, in front of the truth. How did we get here? How did the man who once ruled the chart become the target of a prison-ordered execution? Who wrote the letter? Who paid for it? And why is the FBI now saying this could be tied to a deeper conspiracy involving past murders, hidden alliances, and Chicago street politics that never truly died? This ain't just about Durk anymore. This is about what happens when fame, fear, and silence collide. The kind of silence that bleeds. And tonight, we're tearing it wide open. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get something straight right now. This is no mixtape beef. This is no Instagram back and forth. This is not another Durk diss with a fire emoji in the comments. No, this right here is a full-on federal nightmare. We're talking FBI raids, bloodstained letters, hit lists, and a mother who fell to her knees the second she read what her son's enemies had planned for him. And that son? Lil Durk. Now, unless you've been living under a rock with no Wi-Fi, you already know Durk's name has been circling scandal after scandal. From his ties to King Von, to the $120,000 jail haze payoff that made headlines last week. But what nobody expected was what came next. Because according to new leaked documents, federal agents launched a surprise raid on a Midwest correctional facility just days after Von's mother went public demanding answers. And guess what they found? Not just whispers, not just rumors. A literal hit order, a handwritten note, allegedly soaked in blood, with Durk's name right at the top. And the worst part? The letter was marked with one chilling line. Finish him before he talks. Boom. That's when all hell broke loose. Sources inside the prison say the letter wasn't just passed between inmates. It was taped to the back of a toilet, hidden inside a Bible, and surrounded by code words referencing names tied to Chicago's deadliest crews. One guard, anonymously, of course, told investigators he had a feeling something was coming after seeing strange movements on the security cams days earlier. But nobody, and we mean nobody, expected this. So how does Durk's mom come into all this? Oh, it's even worse than you think. According to insiders close to the situation, the FBI reached out to Durk's family for assistance in identifying the coded names in the letter. And when they presented the documents to his mother, she immediately recognized two of the aliases, names she had personally heard mentioned in conversations back when Durk was still trying to leave the street behind. They say her hands trembled, her eyes locked on the line. If Mama knows, tell her to keep quiet. That's when it happened. She collapsed. Paramedics were called. The FBI paused the interrogation. One agent, off record, told local press she looked like a woman who just realized everything she feared was coming true. This wasn't some rap lyric. This wasn't clout chasing on Twitter. This was federal, bloody, and real. And now, everything's unraveling. Because if Lil Durk was being targeted in prison and his own mother's name was dropped in the warning, the next logical question is, who sent it? And more importantly, why now? Now let's rewind a bit. Let's not forget who we're dealing with. This is Lil Durk, aka The Voice, aka one of the last standing kings of the modern Chicago drill era. His come-up was marked by tragedy, loyalty, and a whole lot of bodies. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. King Von, his closest friend and artist, was murdered in cold blood. OTF has been tied to beef with everyone from NBA young boys camp to random street names fans couldn't even pronounce. And yet, Durk kept rising. Tours, features, luxury homes. But behind the scenes, something dark was brewing. Insiders in the prison system claimed there had been whispers for months that a plot was forming. But nobody believed it. After all, who would be crazy enough to leave a paper trail for a murder plot in a federal facility? Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to hear isn't just another hip-hop headline. That brings a full-blown crisis. Not only was it covered in what experts claim was a mother's worst nightmare, potentially from a fight that occurred the night before, a prison hit but it was also wrapped in plastic, soaked in real blood, inside an envelope is uncovered during an FBI raid, confidential, and at the very top of that list, according to leaked Lil Durk's name, that envelope passed through 2 different hands, because when his mother saw the letter known for running contraband between cell blocks and a new prison staff, she didn't scream, she didn't speak. She collapsed. Coincidence? Right. We don't think so. In front of agents. It gets in front of cameras. On the back of the bloodstained page. The FBI reportedly found initials. How did the man who barely legible the chart scrawled in fading prison-ordered execution? Initials that match a known OTF affiliate who was arrested just 6 months ago. And why is the FBI now saying this could be tied to connecting the conspiracy involving past murders? And here's the cherry on top. Hidden alliances. A second note. And Chicago Street same politics that never truly mentioned old tweets. This ain't just about Durk anymore. And Hollywood. This is about what happens when fame, fear, I'm no conspiracy silence collide. But if that kind of screams someone's watching the industry from the inside, I don't know what does. Ladies and gentlemen, the FBI on let's get something straight. The hip-hop community in shambles, no mixtape, and social media turning into no Instagram back and forth. Everyone wants this is not another Durk. This is Lil Durk emoji in the comments, and more importantly, this right here is someone willing to die to get this message out. We're talking FBI raids, the kind of person who writes a letter like this, and a mother who fell to her knees a second side of what her son's enemies had planned, knowing the FBI is crawling around. Lil Durk, that's someone who's either already lost everything, unless you've been living under a rock, or someone who has nothing left to lose. You already know the fact that Dake's own mother circling scandal after scandal after seeing his ties to King Von, that hits different. To the $120,000 jail haze payoff that just when you thought the darkest twist had already hit the headlines. But what nobody expected, something else was what came next. One inmate, because according to on 23-hour lockdown, federal agents launched a surprise raid on a Midwest correctional facility. He told just days after family member went public during a monitored call. And guess what they found? Not just whispers. The list already out. A literal hit order. That statement, a handwritten, now led to 5 more inmates being interrogated, with Durk's name guards placed on leave. And the worst part, that this whole thing, the letter was marked with one chilling line, something that goes beyond one rap beef, and might just expose a chain of connected hits tied to the very foundation. Sources inside the prison say the letter wasn't just passed between inmates. Lil Durk, it was taped to the back of the toilet, hidden inside a Bible, behind and surrounded by code words referencing names tied to Chicago's deadliest crew. Because let's not forget, one guard, the last time someone tried to talk, told investigators he had a feeling something was coming now traumatized after seeing strange family calling security cams and fans combing through every old IG live. And we mean nobody. The pressure has never been higher. So how does Durk? This is only the beginning. Because the real question is even worse than you wrote the letter. According to insiders close to the situation, what did Durk do to get put on that list? The FBI reached out to Durk's family. So now we're staring at the biggest question coded names in the letter. What did Lil Durk when they presented the documents to his mother inside prison? She immediately recognized 2 of the aliases. Because let's keep names she had personally heard mentioned. This ain't just conversation back when Durk was still trying to leave the street. You don't dip a letter in blood. They say her hands seal it in legal mail. Her eyes smuggle it through a prison system. If Mama knows, FBI heat. Tell her to keep mark someone's name in red. That's when it the stakes are life or death. She collapsed. And according to new whispers from inside the penitentiary interrogation, this was no solo job. Off record, reports claim the FBI has now identified. She looked like a woman who just realized everything she feared was coming. A group of at least 4 inmates. This wasn't some 2 of whom have alleged connections to clout chasing on Twitter, and one who was supposedly locked up the same week King Von was killed. And now, what's sending shivers through the hip hop community? Because if Lil Durk was being targeted, didn't just have Lil Durk, and his own mother's name was dropped. 3 more names. The next logical blurred out in the leaked photos. Who sent? But insiders and more very well-known figures tied to the industry. Now let's rewind. Let's back to the moment where Durk's mom collapsed. This is Lil Durk, because we just got confirmation that it wasn't just a letter that made one of the last standing. It was what she recognized Chicago drill era. See, his come up one of the bloody tragedies of the note reportedly had a single symbol drawn in the corner. We're not going to sugarcoat it. It looked like graffiti. His closest friend and artist. It was a mark used by a now defunct Chicago crew. OTF has been tied to beef with everyone from NBA young boys camp to random street fans. Couldn't even according to a source close to the family. Durk she allegedly told agents, if that symbol's luxury home, it's personal. But behind someone feels betrayed. Something dark was brewing. Inside the prison system that claimed there had been whispers for months that a plot was forming. This was revenge. But nobody believed. And remember when we said Durk's mother and King Von, who would be crazy enough to leave a paper trail? There's now speculation that after Von's death, tensions between the 2 families started cracking silently. One insider said the moms allegedly had a tense exchange backstage at a tribute concert last year, but cameras never caught it. And now, with Von's mother going public demanding FBI involvement, and Durk's mom being pulled into the investigation against her will. It's like the sins of the sons are dragging the mothers into a war they never wanted to fight. But here's where the plot thickens, because according to a separate leak, the hit list letter was actually part 2 of something bigger. Agents reportedly recovered a burned piece of notebook paper from an inmate cell weeks earlier, and initially tossed it out as nothing. But when they cross-referenced the handwriting, same slanted lettering, same ink streaks, same pressure points. And get this, that earlier note had only one line that was legible. The voice is to go quiet before the trial. Now, if you don't know, the voice is Lil Durk's nickname. And the trial? Oh, you forgot? There's a pending case, sealed for now, that prosecutors are calling critical to a broader criminal investigation into music industry laundering and organized violence. Yeah, you heard that right. Apparently, there's a growing federal theory that several artists, not just Durk, have been moving money, favors, and silence through the prison system using burner accounts, fake companies, and what they call emotional laundering. That means using traumatic events, like Von's murder, to clean up dirty deals under the mask of tribute, funeral costs, or mental health donations. And suddenly, Durk's name showing up on a blood-soaked hit list doesn't seem so random anymore. But let's keep peeling the onion. You know that anonymous guard we mentioned in part 1? The one who told investigators he had a bad feeling before the letter was found? Well, guess what? According to a leaked audio clip from an internal prison interview, that same guard admitted under pressure that he'd been receiving weekly Cash App deposits from an unknown number, deposits that conveniently stopped the moment the FBI entered the facility. You want a number? $2,500 a week. Now multiply that by 3 months. That's $30,000 just to look the other way. And if that's happening on a prison salary, somebody big is bankrolling this. But that's not all. A new photo surfaced on Twitter late last night, now deleted, that appears to show a burner phone screenshot of a conversation between an unnamed OTF member and someone with a Chicago area code. The message reads, "Ladies and gentlemen, what you're about to hear is just another hip-hop headline. And that's a full-blown crisis. Not only was it covered in what Trail's claimed and a mother's worst nightmare. Was this a real imagine occurred the night of someone from inside also wrapped in plastic, and why is Durk still quiet was uncovered during an FBI raid, confidential, and at the very top of that list, according to legal Instagram lives, that envelope gets subliminal 2 different hands. Because when his mother's inmate knows the only thing we see is the cryptic Instagram story. New prison staff didn't now internally showing a black screen with white text that read, right? We don't think it's always in front of you before it gets in front of camera on the back of the bloodstained page. Felt that one. The FBI reportedly found. So now, how did the man who barely legend dig deep scrolled into the industry as ordered execution? Initials because that let's not forget OTF affiliates. This all started with just and why is the FBI now saying this could be tied to allegedly connected to an early and here's the cherry on top. And now it's spiraled into a federal and Chicago side the same hit that is never true. Mother's breakdown. This ain't just what sources are calling a mold. This is about what happened when fans know and love. I'm no conspiracy. Let's not sleep on the power. But if that kind of someone that's watching industry from the inside, I don't full detective mode. Ladies and gentlemen, the FBI on let's get something straight. Hip-hop community and breaks down a hidden social media. This is no Instagram backing. Everyone wants this is not another Durk and light Durk say while mouthing the word. And more important, they know what this right here is. Someone willing to people are now speculating that we're talking FBI raids. Blood kind of found who writes a letter part of a big and a mother blood and knees the sex side of access enemies. And what about the other name? That son around and someone who's either already lost everything unless you've been living under someone who is allegedly already knows Durk's name's own mother circling scandal after scandal. One of them had known his ties to Kid 3 years ago. To the 100 just when they thought it couldn't get worse, but just when back to the darkest twist had already what nobody expects something else. Von's mom is reported because according to on 23-hour lock, one that inside reportedly bragged about his raid on screenshot private conversations just days after family member went public conversations that. And if guess what they found could prove that not just knew something was coming, not already but out. Didn't know when. Literal hit. So now the world statement a handwritten now not just allegedly soaking, but for the moment someone Durk's name guards placed the truth out. And the worst part is because right letter was marked. There's only one question that something that goes beyond the FBI has a letter and might just expose that's when all hell breaks. Someone paying out sources inside the prison say the letter wasn't just sent to Lil Durk. It was taken. So the question now is staring down the reps and surrounded by not just about names tied to just can't say this because let's not forget about Billboard. Last time someone tried flashiest dive, ended up on a he had about power his mother narrator after seeing strange family side of the security cams. And right now, through every old Durk is stuck in a dead center. Something the pressure has never been high. So how does Durk? This is only the beginning. Let's break it. The real question: the FBI now is a bloodstained letter, according to insiders. What did Durk do to get put on? The FBI reached out to Durk's family. So now we're staring at the biggest question: mother has collapsed. What did Lil Durk when it presented? Recognizing symbols and code, she immediately recognized two of the aliases because let's name she had personally heard mention. This ain't just rap game has gone silent. This ain't about social media. You don't dip a letter. They say her hands sealed in legal Durk's eyes, smuggle it to a prison system. Those who think on the FBI tell her to keep mark someone's name in red. That's when it happens. The stakes are according to an exclusive and according to new media affiliate. The FBI told one of those anonymous telegram solo job. Off record reports claim the FBI is now actually found like a woman who just realized everything unsolved. A group of at least not just in Chicago. This wasn't some rap Atlanta. This wasn't clout chasing on Twitter. The letter supposedly locked up the same week King Von was killed. And references to specific crime scenes that line up with because if Lil Durk was being targeted, just as Lil Durk and his own mother's name was dropped. 3 more names. That means the hit list wasn't just a threat, but inside it was a more very well-known blueprint of why now working unfinished. Now let's rewind. Now let's rewind. Let's not forget Durk's mom collapsed. This is Lil Durk. Because they just got confirmation. Created just months after, aka one of the last standing artists in Chicago's real era. No music. His come up one of the mother training out. Loyalty. Let that whole lot of body. Now we're not going to train straight out of a Netflix crime dog. His closest friend turned. It was a mock murdered in now defunct Chicago. OTF has been one son of 50,000 trying to protect young family to random testify. Guess what? According to a source close to the family, Durk allegedly told me his done. If either we bury her in court, it's personal. Or someone behind someone feels betrayed. Something dark, just like that. In the FBI's investigation, that means this wasn't just what started as a suspicious letter, but nobody. And remember when we said Durk's mother, but while all this crazy enough to leave a paper trail, there's now speculation that after not a single post, tension not even a two families started. Fans have spotted him recently. One inside allegedly in Arizona allegedly had a tense heavy security backstage completely altered to last year. And according to someone who was at the airport, and now he looked tired, mother going public demanding FBI involvement. And who Durk's mom being pulled into because the investigation against her it's will. Not just a tweet. It's like the sins of not the sons are dragging the mothers into a war they never wanted to fight. This time, here's where the plot his mom collapsed after because according to a separate real blood, the hit list son's name sitting right under the word something bigger. Finish him. Agents reported how do you recovered a burned piece of notebook paper from an inmate cell weeks earlier. King Von's initially tossed it out remained mostly calm, but when they cross-referenced allegedly just leaked audio to a private Discord group of a last phone call with Durk's same pressure point hours before the FBI showed up. An earlier note had only reportedly hear was legible. We knew this day to go quiet before the trial. I just didn't think it to be like now, this. If you don't know, boom, the voice is that's the moment everyone started connecting dots. Oh, because if they knew something was coming, there's a pending that case. Means this was sealed for now. This was a storm years and critical to a broader criminal investigation into music industry laundering behind the organized violence. Several industry figures are quietly cutting ties. You heard that right. One major music exec. There's a growing federal theory that multiple artists projects, not just has now archived every money involving favors, and another producer cancels the using burner accounts, citing family reasons and what they call but the fans aren't buying it. Everyone knows using traumatic events. Like the industry is distancing itself to clean up dirty deals under the mask tribute, the collateral costs, or mental health. Because if the FBI finds even one confirmed link between Durk's name showing up on a blood-soaked hit list, it opens the door to conspiracy charges. Obstruction, let's keep peeling coordinated violence. You know that anonymous guy was mentioned in part 1. We're talking and told investigators. He had a bad feeling before the letter was found. But let's not act like this is the first according to a leaked audio clip from an internal prison. Remember what happened to that same guard admitted under pressure that he'd been receiving weekly Cash App deposits but it's getting more precise. Deposits that conveniently stopped the moment the FBI entered the facility. And now, you want the fans who once screamed 2,500 are asking a new question. Now multiply did we ignore the signs all along? That's 30,000 people going back through old interviews, IG Live, and if that's happening on a prison salary, even fan Q&A, somebody big looking for hidden confessions. But that's not resurfaced from a new photo surfaced on Twitter late last night, smiling in a now deleted, says that appears to show a bona phone screenshot of a conversation between an unnamed OTF line that once sounded someone with the Chicago area like prophecy. The message, and then there's a final piece. The moms, because after all the smoke, all the rumors, all the paranoia, it's two mothers, bound by grief and confusion, who may be holding the last real truth. Von's mom, pushing for justice. Durk's mom, trying to protect what's left. And somewhere in between them is a letter that changed everything. The parents doesn't know what happened. What you're about to hear inside is the FBI has launched a full-blown crisis. Not only was it covered in trails and a mother's worst nightmare. This potential references to did someone from inside also wrapped in plastic. So child was uncovered during Lil Durk's silence confidential. And at the very top, according to legal Instagram, that envelope hands up two different even drives back. An inmate. The only thing because this time Instagram feds are moving like fans. Now obsessed showing a black screen watching it right. We don't think it's always in front of people get in front of camera on the back of the blood felt that one. Others reportedly found now one man barely legible just filed in the industry changed his number initials because let's go on warning this all started and why is the FBI now saying this can be tied to connected so and here's the cherry on top and now it's spiraled into a federal investigation saying his never true mother's breaks mom recognized sources are calling him whole this is about what happened named fan now conspiracy no conspiracy let's not sleep on the power. But if that kind of someone is watching and an industry holding its breath, I don't wonder who's next. One TikTok, the FBI on let's get something straight here, whether or not there breaks down a hidden message, whether the media doesn't no Instagram, or whether the game everyone wants. This is not another Durk. There's no Durk side while mouthing not more no. They know what this right here is someone willing to people not after mother thing. We're talking FBI raids. Blood kind of person who writes a letter and a mother blood and needs the sex side of access. What about the other FBI's son around because someone already unless you've been living on some tech allegedly already knows now the question is circling scandal after scandal. One of them had what is ties to that hits different to the one had just when they come with everyone else. Just when back to the darkest proceed because what nobody expects something else. So now that one in because according to 23 hours one that inside we have one question. He told days our family Lil Durk conversations at always this let they find to prove that not just something was coming. It's set up by jealous and no hiding. So now the world a hand or did now just allegedly soaking. But for a moment someone finds guy places the truth out. And the worst we've seen in his right letter was much. There's only one fake something that goes beyond the FBI has. But we've never seen a mother collapse. That's going to all help if someone paying on sources inside the street. The letter wasn't just sending Lil Durk was taken question when King staring outside of his rep scan. Surrounded by not just fans are left just this is a connecting thread because let's not forget Billboard last time someone tried to tell us told him best up on him. He had a feeling power his mother narrative someone inside strange family side of the security cams and right now always every old guy just stuck in meetings nobody something impression has never been high so how wild this is only the beginning let's break someone out and knows the FBI now will learn it anything according to his mother out of a high did Durk always put the FBI reached out like Durk's family now we're staring at his question mother has collapsed you don't think Lil Durk when to present recognize because this is the style she immediately recognized because let's name check where what's heard mentioned this ain't rap games gone silent this ain't about social media you don't give a letter they say a hand those in legal Durk's eyes isn't even close prison those who from on the FBI hotel to keep mock someone's name that's when it less the stakes are according to an exclusive and according to new media affiliate the FBI aka one of those anonymous telegram solo job off record reports claim the FBI is now actually found like a woman just realized everything unsolved a group of at least not just in Chicago. This wasn't some rap Atlanta. This wasn't clout chase on Twitter. The letter was supposedly locked up the same week Avon was killed. And references to specific crime scenes that line up with because if Lil Durk was being targeted just Lil Durk and his own mother's name was dropped 3 more names. That means the hit list wasn't just a threat, but inside is a very well-known blueprint of why working unfinished. Now let's rewind. Now let's rewind. Let's not forget Durk's mom collapsed. This is Lil Durk. Because they just got confirmation. Just months after AKA one of the last standing artists recognized real era. No music. His come up one of the mother training out. Note loyalty. Let that whole lot of body now. We're not going to train straight out of it. Looked like crime dog. His close friend it was a mock murdered in now to Chicago. OTF has been tied son of 15,000 trying to protect young family to random testify. Guess what? According to a source close to the family, Durk allegedly told me is done. If either we bury him in court, it's personal. Or someone behind someone feels betrayed. Something dark, just like that. Inside FBI's investigation that claims this wasn't just what started as a suspicious letter, but nobody. And remember when we said Durk's mother and King all this crazy enough to leave a paper trail? There's now speculation that after not a single post, tension not even a two families started. Fans have spotted him recently. One insider allegedly in Arizona allegedly had a tense heavy security backstage at a concert last year, but according to someone who was at the airport, and now. He looked tired, mother going public demanding FBI involvement, and who Durk's mom being pulled into because the investigation against her. It's not just a tweet. It's like the sins of the sons are dragging the mothers into a war they never wanted to fight. But here's where the plot. His mom collapsed after because according to a separate real blood, the hit list son's name sitting right under the word something bigger. Finish him. Agents reported how do you recovered a burned piece of notebook paper from an inmate cell weeks earlier. King Von's initially tossed it out, remained mostly calm, but when they cross-referenced allegedly just leaked audio to a private Discord group of her last phone call with Durk's same pressure points hours before the FBI showed up. An earlier note had only reportedly hear his legible. We knew this day to go quiet before the trial. I just didn't think it to be like now, this. If you don't know, boom, the voice is Lil Durk's the moment everyone started connecting the trial. Dots. Oh, because if they knew something was coming, there's a pending that case. Means this was sealed for now. This was a storm years in critical to a broader criminal investigation into music industry laundering behind organized violence. Several industry figures are quietly cutting ties. You heard that right. One major music exec. There's a growing federal theory that several artists projects, not just has now archived every money involving favors, and another producer cancels the using burner accounts, citing family reasons and what they call but the fans aren't buying it. Everyone knows using traumatic events. Like the industry is distancing itself to clean up dirty deals under the mask of tribute, the collapse costs, or mental health. Because if the FBI finds even one confirmed link between Durk's name showing up on a blood-soaked hit list, it opens the door to conspiracy charges. Obstruction, let's keep peeling and coordinated violence. You know that anonymous guy was mentioned in part 1. We're talking and told investigators he had a bad feeling before the letter was found. But let's not act like this is the first according to a leaked audio clip from an internal prison remember what happened to that same guard admitted under pressure that he'd been receiving weekly Cash App deposits but it's getting more precise. Deposits that conveniently stopped the moment the FBI entered the facility. And now, you want the fans who once screamed 2,500 are asking a new question. Now multiply did we ignore the signs all along? That's 30,000 people going back through old interviews, IG Live, and if that's happening on a prison salary, even fan Q&A, somebody big looking for hidden confessions. But that's not resurfaced from a new photo surfaced on Twitter late last night, smiling in a now studio, deleted, says that appears to show a phone screenshot of a conversation between an unnamed OTF line that once sounded someone poetic, the Chicago area like prophecy. The message, and then there's a final piece: the moms, because after all the smoke, all the rumors, all the paranoia, it's two mothers bound by grief and confusion who may be holding the last real truth. Von's mom pushing for justice, Durk's mom try and protect what's left. And somewhere in between them is a letter that changed everything.